I thought I knew my wife. 5 years of marriage, 5 years of building a life together, 5 years of believing we were solid. Then came Thanksgiving dinner at her parents' house. The turkey was golden, the wine was flowing, and everyone was laughing around the table. That is when Amanda looked at me with ice in her eyes and said the words that shattered everything. "I am leaving you." She said it right there in front of her whole family. But what she did not expect was what I did next. Before I tell you what happened next, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear how karma works in mysterious ways. Trust me, you will want to stick around for this one because what happened after I walked out changed everything. Now let me take you back to where this all began. 7 years ago, I met Amanda at a coffee shop in downtown Portland. She was a third-grade teacher, and I was working as an architect at a mid-sized firm. She had this warm smile that made you feel like everything would be okay. We started dating, and within 2 years we were married in a small ceremony in Charleston. Her family was there, my brother David flew in from Seattle, and even her stepsister Melissa made it despite her busy schedule in Boston. The first 3 years were what I would call genuinely happy. We took road trips down the Pacific Coast Highway, spent lazy Sundays making breakfast together, and had movie marathons on rainy nights. Amanda would tell me about her students, and I would show her my latest building designs. We talked about having kids someday, maybe buying a house with a backyard. Life felt complete. But about a year ago, things started to shift. Amanda got promoted to assistant principal at her school. I was proud of her, really I was. But with the promotion came longer hours, more meetings, more stress. She started coming home at 8 or 9 at night instead of 4. Dinner together became rare. When I would suggest we spend time together, she would say she was exhausted. The physical distance grew too. We stopped being intimate. The goodnight kisses became quick pecks, then stopped altogether. I would reach for her hand while watching television, and she would pull away, saying her hands were cold or she needed to check something on her phone. That phone, it became her constant companion. She would be scrolling through it at breakfast, during dinner, even in bed before sleeping. When I walked into the room, she would quickly turn the screen away or flip it face down. I tried everything I could think of to reconnect. I cooked her favorite meals, lasagna with that special garlic bread she loved. I booked a weekend getaway to the coast for our anniversary. She canceled it 2 days before, saying there was an emergency staff meeting. I bought her flowers for no reason. She barely looked at them. Every attempt I made seemed to bounce off an invisible wall she had built around herself. When I asked if something was wrong, she would give me the same responses. Just tired. Work is overwhelming. You would not understand, but I wanted to understand. I wanted to be there for her. She just would not let me in anymore. 3 months before that Thanksgiving, I noticed she changed her phone password. We had always known each other's passwords, not because we checked on each other, but because it was just something married couples did. Now suddenly she had a 6-digit code I did not know. She also started going to the gym 5 times a week when she used to go twice. She bought new clothes, got her hair done more often, wore makeup on weekends when we used to just lounge around the house. And then there was Brian. She mentioned him constantly. Brian thinks we should change the curriculum. Brian suggested a new teaching method. Brian is so innovative. At first I thought nothing of it. Coworkers talk about each other. But it was the way she said his name with this lightness in her voice that I had not heard in months when she talked to me. One night I woke up around 2 in the morning and found her in the living room sitting on the couch with her phone. The screen lit up her face in the darkness and she was smiling. Actually smiling, something I had not seen her do around me in weeks. When she noticed me standing there, she quickly locked the phone and said she could not sleep, that she was just browsing social media. But I saw the way her whole body tensed up. I knew, deep down I knew something was very wrong. By the time November rolled around, I felt like I was living with a stranger. The woman I married, the one who used to leave silly notes in my lunchbox and dance with me in the kitchen, was gone. In her place was someone cold, distant, and always looking for an escape from any room I was in. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, Amanda announced we would be spending the holiday at her parents' place, about a 3-hour drive from Portland. I was not exactly thrilled. The tension between us had reached a point where even sitting in the same car felt suffocating. But I agreed because I thought maybe being around family would help, that she would remember who we used to be. The morning we left, Amanda barely spoke to me. She sat in the passenger seat with her earbuds and staring out the window. I tried to make conversation a few times, asking about her plans for winter break, whether she had bought gifts for her parents yet. She gave me one-word answers. Fine. No. Whatever. I eventually gave up and focused on the road. When we pulled up to her childhood home, a 2-story colonial with a wraparound porch, I took a deep breath. Amanda's mom opened the door before we even made it up the steps, pulling us both into hugs. Her dad shook my hand, asked about work. I plastered on a smile and said everything was great, which was the biggest lie I had told in months. Then I saw Melissa. She was in the kitchen helping with dinner prep, wearing jeans and a navy sweater, her dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. Melissa was Amanda's stepsister. Their parents had married when the girls were teenagers, Amanda 15 and Melissa 13. Melissa had always been kind to me, easy to talk to. She was a corporate lawyer in Boston, sharp and independent. She had been married once in her early 20s, but it ended after 3 years. Since then, she focused on her career and seemed content with her life. "Hey, Kevin," she said, walking over with a genuine smile. "It is good to see you. You look like you have had a rough day." "Long drive," I said, though we both knew that was not what she meant. Amanda was already deep in conversation with her mother about school politics, completely ignoring me. Melissa noticed. She tilted her head toward the living room. "Come on, let us get you something to drink. You look like you need it." We sat on the couch and she handed me a beer. We talked about her latest case, some corporate merger that was giving her headaches. I told her about a new building project downtown that was finally getting approved after 2 years of red tape. It felt normal. It felt like an actual conversation, something I had not had with Amanda in months. Melissa listened, asked questions, laughed at my jokes. When I talked, she looked at me like what I was saying actually mattered. "You doing okay, Kevin?" she asked at one point, her voice dropping lower so no one else would hear. Really okay, I wanted to lie, but something about the way she asked with genuine concern in her eyes made me hesitate. "I am hanging in there," I said. She nodded slowly like she understood more than I was saying. "If you ever need to talk, I am here. I mean that." Before I could respond, Amanda called from the kitchen that dinner was ready. The dining room table was set beautifully. Candles flickered in the center, surrounded by dishes of mashed potatoes, stuffing green bean casserole, and a massive turkey that Amanda's dad had spent all day preparing. My brother David had driven down from Seattle and was already seated along with Amanda's parents. The 7 of us settled in, passing plates and filling glasses. At first, everything seemed fine. David talked about his new job in tech. Amanda's dad told a story about a fishing trip. Amanda's mom asked about my architecture projects. I answered, trying to sound enthusiastic. Amanda sat next to me, but might as well have been on another planet. When I tried to take her hand under the table, she pulled away like my touch burned her. Melissa sat across from us, and I caught her watching the interaction. Her expression was unreadable, but I saw something in her eyes. Sympathy, maybe, or disappointment in her stepsister. Then Amanda's dad, probably trying to lighten the mood, made a comment. "So, when are you two going to give us some grandkids? We are not getting any younger." The table went quiet. Amanda's jaw tightened. I felt my stomach drop. "We are focusing on our careers right now," I said, trying to smile. "Maybe in a few years." Amanda's mom nodded. "That is smart. No rush." But Amanda was not done. She set down her fork with a sharp clink against her plate. "Actually," she said, her voice cutting through the warm atmosphere like a blade, "I need to talk about something." Everyone looked at her. I felt dread pool in my gut. Amanda turned to me, her face completely devoid of emotion. "I think it is time we are honest with everyone. Kevin, I am leaving you. I want a divorce." The words hit me like a physical blow. For a second, I could not breathe. I could not process what she just said. Around the table, everyone froze. Amanda's mom gasped. Her dad's face went pale. David stared at Amanda like she had just grown a second head. Melissa's fork clattered onto her plate. Amanda, what are you doing? Her mom said, her voice shaking. This is not the time or place. I am done pretending, Amanda said coldly. He deserves to know in front of everyone. This marriage has been over for a long time. I have already talked to a lawyer. My mind was racing, but somehow I managed to keep my voice steady. Is there someone else? Amanda hesitated. The silence stretched out. Then she lifted her chin. Yes. Brian. He understands me something you never did. I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. Brian. The coworker she had been mentioning for months, the one she lit up talking about. It all made sense now. Every late night, every canceled plan, every cold shoulder. She had been cheating on me and now she was humiliating me in front of her entire family. Amanda's mom started crying. Her dad stood up, his face red with anger. Amanda, how could you? This is disgraceful. My brother David stood too. Kevin, let us go. You do not need to sit here and take this. Melissa's voice cut through the chaos. She was staring at Amanda with disbelief and fury. How could you do this? And here, on Thanksgiving, Amanda crossed her arms defensively. I am tired of living a lie. Kevin will be fine. He can find someone else. That sentence, that careless dismissal, it ignited something inside me. Not anger exactly, more like clarity.